History in the making, folks. I've been an active member on the server for almost 10 years now. There's not much out there anymore that I can say I haven't done yet in this community that aren't extreme. But today, another first has happened. I got my first mute on the network. I've made April Fool's jokes about being banned in the past, but this time, it's no joke. Some of you may be in awe. Sykese? The guy who seems to be the spokesman of good behavior? The guy always letting people know what to do to not end up banned or muted? Muted himself? After almost a decade, the blue guy's record is finally tarnished. So if this had happened like 2 years ago, I'd probably be in full meltdown mode. But honestly, it's kinda whatever for me now. With the nature of the community and the amount of things I see and the amount of things directed towards me every day, I was bound to eventually retaliate and get coaxed into a mute. I've talked before on my theory that some of the cosmetics on the server are purposefully nudging players into getting irritated, and how Hypixel actually likes it when players act this way. Things like this kinda make me start to think maybe it isn't a theory? I'll explain though. I've been playing a bit too much Skywars recently. Skywars has a community that tends to be a little on the edgier side. Not to the point of something like Mega Walls, but it's definitely no arcade games either. The only reason I play Skywars nowadays is because I need something visual in the background while I talk about whatever topic it is that I talk about. Skywars is just a game that gets you frustrated after playing it for a while. You could honestly put Mr. Rogers in front of the computer on Skywars, and you couldn't tell me that even he wouldn't get frustrated eventually, even a tiny bit. I was in the middle of a really ugly streak of games without a single win. You guys know that I tend to only use wins in my videos because they're more entertaining. But I was on maybe game 40, game 50 or so with 0 wins. My video progress was slammed to a halt, and I was getting really annoyed. I eventually decided to ask my buddy Troopus to team with me to help me get footage, and so we did a few games, with ultimately the same result. That's when I made a comment in a pre-game lobby saying, quote, "I hate all but one of you in this game that are preventing me from getting BG footage," with BG meaning background, and that one being my teammate Troopers. That's all it took. I'm not even kidding. That's all that needed to be said. The team must have been really ahead of schedule with this one, because this mute was like 2 minutes after I typed this out. They were really speedy with this. Now, here's something that might actually catch you guys off guard a little bit. I saw that I got this mute, and I had actually believed it was for something I said earlier in the day, something that I could actually justify being muted for if it had been reported. It leaned in that sort of rude manner, but nothing truly evil, don't worry. Now, I really learned a lot during my 10-minute mute. Yeah, you heard me right. My 10-minute mute. Because after 10 minutes, the mute just went away. No explanation, no reason given. This leads me to think that everyone that gets a chat report against them is always put under mute, regardless if they did something or not. Obviously, while I thought what I said before might have justified a mute, I thought this specific message doing it was nothing short of obnoxious. And the team agreed, as it was removed minutes later. With the breakdown happening a couple of days ago, and now with this happening, some people have been joking that I've entered my villain arc, but I assure that's not the case. This time has just been a really bad time for me right now. Everyone has them. Anyone who's actually reached out to me in the past few days, I'm remembering that you did that. I do actually hope that this didn't impact the record at all. I would actually be a little bit irritated if I lost it so close to the 10-year anniversary. Alright, nothing really more to add here. Working on some more epic videos. Make sure to subscribe. The trajectory is kinda hot water right now, and I'd really love to get that back up and running. Also, watch this outro.
Listen up, here's the story about a little guy that lives in a blue world. And all day and all night, and everything he sees is just blue, like him inside and outside.